Hey guys, QV here. What's up? It is the 29th of May, 2020. I wanted to make this little compilation video for you guys because of where we are right now and how crazy things are looking, especially with what's going on in Minneapolis. And now stuff is about to start happening with the weather. Um, so I just wanted to put this together to give you guys that perspective, um, that higher perspective, and just as a reminder, because I had to go back and remind myself of certain things, okay, that messages I was already given and shared with you guys. So therefore, just know that we won, and it's just more confirmation to help you and your loved ones be still of mind and heart and spirit, and do your best to be the conscious observer. Okay, so I just want you guys to listen to all these little clips so you can like put them together in your head and be like, oh yeah, okay. Since this is happening, we already know the war is won. We won the final battle. This is the cleanup time. This was expected, starting 2020 to the end of 2021, that 2-year period of being in the eye of the storm. Okay. So, and gee, that's what I wanted to pull up. Hold on one second. Sorry. Let me see. That was 2 years ago. The calm before the storm.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Of course, 144. I did not make that up. So that was the 20, that was the 17th, right? Let's play that first.
From the Oval Office tonight, President Trump with a wink and a tease. Thank you very much. You'll find out. Revealing no new details about the meaning of this cryptic comment during a reception with military leaders and their spouses Thursday night.
You guys know what this represents?
Tell us, sir.
Maybe it's the calm before the storm.
What's the storm?
Could be the calm before the storm.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
What's he talking about?
I'll tell you what he's talking about. Wow. No coincidences. What a quinky dink. Okay, so we have him saying that. So let's get to the storm, because we're in the, and of course, here goes not another thing that's not a coincidence. The 144 again showing up itself, 444, 144. Okay, so let's just listen to what I had to say back then. This was December of 2018.
Seeing is absolute truth, because only source creator is absolute truth. Okay, with that being said, the biggest message I received for now until 2022, I'm going to tell you how it came to me, the different phrases that came to me, the truths that were revealed to me. It is extremely important to be the conscious observer during these phases between now through 2022. Be the conscious observer by being the conscious observer is the only way to rise above and be out of what is going to be taking place. And this is information you need to share with people as they awaken, as they come to, as the collective awakens, even other light workers, when the truth, there is more truth to be revealed. The same way there's more truth to be revealed to me, there's more truth to be revealed to you. Don't think you're a light worker or even a forerunner and you know it all. You don't. You never know it all. Only source creator knows it all. So there's always a truth to be revealed, okay? So always leave yourself open to that. So as more people come to you, as more truth is being revealed to you, okay, be the conscious observer, especially for these times. The Great Awakening has been taking place, and I say take this from now because I'm revealing this information right now because more of it came to me overnight. Okay, it's still only like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. But it was revealed to me. More of it was revealed to me, I should say. And how to phrase it is revealed to me. Sorry for the shakiness. Now, here's how it goes. The way it was said to me, I'm going to say it to you. The wall has two sides. A wall has two sides, I should say. A wall has two sides. One side is to keep in, and the other side is to keep out. However that's interpreted by your soul, by your heart, it is interpreted, okay? I'm just putting it out there. I have my own interpretation, which I'm not going to share because it's for everyone to be the conscious observer and reach their own conclusions. Just saying. A wall has two sides, to keep in and to keep out. That's number one. Also, the Great Awakening and the Great Deception is the same thing. Just like the wall has two sides, a wall has two sides, the Great Awakening and the Great Deception. Look at my finger, especially since I'm brown skin. This is the same finger. You have the dark side and you have the light side. Dark side, light side. Same finger. Same thing.
So with that being said, especially where we are right now, this is a great deception. What is going on in Minnesota and now has spread through other places, but it's also serving as the Great Awakening because so many people are calling things out. So many people are calling things out and be like, wait a minute, why did this happen? What does this happen? What's going on here? It seems like it's been in the works for a minute. What is going on? How is it? The killer and the one killed worked in the same place for many years. They knew each other. Why did the badges look fake? What is going on? Who are these people? You know, those Soros puppets. What is going on here? That's also the Great Awakening. The Great Awakening and the Great Deception, same thing. Great Deception, but he's also the Great Awakening. Do you see what I'm talking about? And the same thing goes for the whole CV, for the beer flu. It was also, here we go, it was also the Great Deception, the beer flu, the coof, the kung flu, but it's also serving as the Great Awakening. It's serving both ends. Because now they're blaming it on monkeys. A monkey stole it, stole the vial. So the Great Awakening and the Great Deception are the same thing. The Great Awakening and the Great Deception, same thing. Same exact thing. Now, I've been saying this for how long? About the risk to constantly wearing masks. Been trying to put it out there. Being the conscious observer doesn't mean just laying back and watching shit burn up. You know what I'm saying? I'm still, even though I did all my work in the ethereal that I need to do, that we needed to do, my team needed to do in order to facilitate this awakening and ascension, to help do it in the ethereal so it can manifest in the material. I'm still I don't have to, but I'm still trying to wake folks up, the normies up, even though that's not my call. Yeah, I'm still trying to put my little 2 cents in there. Okay, so the Great Awakening and the Great Deception are the same thing. And this is what I was talking about back in 2018. Like I said, it was going to happen until the end of 2021. So 2022 is when, the storm is past. Okay.
That felt diagram I drew, remember, everything is on an arc. Everything is on a scale. Everything is on a scale. Okay? Yin yang. Dark, light, dark, light, dark, light. Look at that.
Dark to light.
Dark, light, together. Correct? Right? Dark, light, together. Right there, if you could see it. Dark, light, together. Sorry for the lighting. Like I said, it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. And this is the best I could do for lighting right now. So, a wall has 2 sides. To keep in and to keep out. The Great Awakening and the Great Deception is one in the same. Is one in the same. Okay? Mull that over. Meditate on it. And with that, how to rise above all that is by claiming your sovereignty and reclaiming your light. I already did those videos, those meditations, those mantras. They're very important tools, okay? They're tools. There are many tools in a box.
You could use those tools right now. If you feel yourself slipping, use them. Again, go through all my videos. They're already there.
Many different types of tools. How many thousands different types of tools are there? Millions, whatever. These are tools that are given to me that I was prompted to share with you. Okay? And if you want to share them with others, feel free to share them with others if you're called to do so. But claiming your sovereignty and reclaiming your light and your power that you might have given away are 2 great tools to rise above that, to be not part of that. Okay? So, like I promised, I will be doing.
Okay, here's another one to share with you. 2019 to 2022, the Great Changing of the Guard, 3D to 5D takeover. This was done January 1st, 2019. And what the changing of the guard is about, it is the 3D to 5D split in experience. Here's the whole thing. It is how you're going to be experiencing life. Living here, material world, life. That's the 3D to 5D split. And that is what's taking place between now, 2019 to 2022. Okay, 2022 is very important because by 2022, the end of 2021, January 2022, 5D takes over. 5D takes over. And the way it was shown to me was, I was shown from now it's starting, because remember by 2022, 5D is completely built. The 5D grid is up. The new 5D template, Heaven on Earth, is up. Okay? And our structures, those of us who doing the preliminary setups like myself, is built. Like right now, it's jump off. We're going to get the funds, the finances to do everything. And then by 2022, we will be built. I saw how it was presented to me was, as in I saw the grid. I was taken and I saw the grid over Earth. The 3D matrix grid is in red. And it was like these squiggly lines in red. And here's the physical manifestation of it right here on the Schumann residence. Like I said, 3D in red. Do you see these going on right here? The 7.83 hertz is the frequency that maintains the 3rd dimensional matrix. I've said this a gajillion times and people are still writing to me, where Look for it, man. It's all over it's all over. From 2019 to now, I've been covering it. And this is, you have mid 4D and lower 4D right here. And this is where the 4D, mid 4D and low 4D, that is where the dark ones operate from, the Cabal. That's where they operate from, because the higher rules the lower. And you're seeing all these crazy red marks, these, as my oversoul calls them, these energy bombs, because the 3D frequency that holds up the 3D matrix is being destroyed right now. And these are the higher grids that have manifested, that we've put up as light workers. And as you can see, this dash mark right here on the 17, and it's no coincidence, Q17, Book of Q, it's all there. That's the crossover line to go into the higher 4D, 5D. It's marked right here, higher 5D. This is it. This 17 is a crossover. The hertz. Okay, so it's right there in front of you. And it's going to be looking crazy like this because this is being taken down. And by 2022, this will be gone. The 3D will be gone. Earth will have a different heartbeat. Okay? Earth will have a different heartbeat, the higher 4 to 5. That's where Earth will be going. Okay? So let's get back over here.
Were disintegrating, and as they disintegrated, these blue filaments that were attached to each other in the flower of life pattern, they were blue, like an indigo blue, and they were glowing and pulsing, and they were starting to attach to each other in the flower of life pattern. The red grid, which was the 3D grid, was in a very chaotic pattern. So those are the two patterns I saw over Earth, over Gaia. Okay. Yeah. So they were disintegrating, and the 5D filaments were forming and connecting, and they were blue. They were in blue.
And that's when they started showing up on the Schumann. That's when you saw the other frequencies starting to show up on the Schumann.
And it will be completed
not go away
by 2022. How amazing is that? I just feel so happy right now. Happy, and all I have is a few $100 in the bank. And that was another thing financially, let me tell you guys.
Okay. Next. I put this in my community page, but it's worth listening to now because it's about the COOF, the Corona Chant, whatever you want to call it.
Quiet for me because I've been grappling with sharing this NRV that I had on the...
By the way, that original NRV 44 was made in September of 2019, way before anybody knew what COVID-19 was.
Last Thursday, which was the 5th of September. And I have been a bit conflicted about sharing any more NRVs, because I don't want people to feel low and down and like there's no hope or something, when it's really the reason why I was told to share in the first place is for everyone, including myself, to have proof as to what is going on, to assist in waking people up into, what 3D has really been all about. Okay. So I'm going to share it. So the remote view, which is what my NRVs stand for, because I involuntarily do remote views, been doing them since I was a kid. The remote view I had was, I was in this lab, and this was a hidden laboratory somewhere, but it was sponsored by some Ivy League school. I'm not going to give out the school's name. And what they were doing is they were changing the Ebola virus, which by the conversation they were having, it was made very clear to me that the Ebola virus is 100% man-made. And what they did was they took a virus, it was an animal virus, and then they manipulated it to become the Ebola that's terrorizing people now. And what's going on with the Ebola virus, what they were doing was, I saw them like cutting into the membrane of the cell, and they were injecting something else into it, and they were developing a new type of Ebola, which you're going to hear of rather soon, and it's going... Okay, I said Ebola, right? Here's the information on the Ivy League school. We all know what that was about, right? The biowarfare espionage behind the Chinese government's Wuhan lab is now coming to light, with a federal indictment being unsealed on Tuesday. Now the Department of Defense and NIH have indicted Harvard's head of chemistry department and 2 Chinese nationals. An officer with the Chinese military, the other caught smuggling biological material. The Harvard professor appears to have been paid an amazing amount, it was actually $2 million, of money by the Chinese government to help establish the Wuhan lab, which is the lab where the virus came out of in Wuhan, and is alleged to have lied to investigators about his activities. The Harvard espionage indictments follow the discovery of Chinese nationals stealing virulent viruses from Canada's only biosafety level 4 lab and shipping them to the Wuhan lab. And, oh God. And then there's a smoking gun of the Wuhan laboratory's job posting the work on the bat virus infection with Ebola and SARS coronavirus. There you go. That's why I kept saying Ebola, because that's how it started out. And it was, coronavirus is a flu virus, okay? So that and SARS, also with MRSA, was added. So that's what's going on. That's what makes this freaking thing so deadly. And then I go into the whole vaccine thing that they're going to try to pull. Then I talk about the breakout and the pattern that it's breaking out. And so you could always go back and watch this video. Okay. So I cover all of that. I talk about the WHO, the WHO, stuff they were going to pull and everything like that. So I really went into it on this video. And I know there was another video I spoke about them using bats like petri dishes, and they were going to try to use bats. God, I need to find that video. And also I did a whole thing about the mask. Also back then I was talking about mask and how they use the mask to to screw with people and everything like that as a form of fear tactic and everything like that. I wonder if I could find it right now for you guys. It's just a trip, man. It's a freaking trip. Let's see real quick here. I don't want the video to run too long. I need to update my NRV playlist, but several videos are missing all over the place. It is what it is, y'all. It is what it is. We all know Trump's hitting it with the censorship thing. They're trying to punch back with, all they're doing is punching into air. Okay, NRV 44. Here we go. That's the original, right? I'm tired of going there. Okay, no, that's not the one that has where I talk about the mask and everything like that. Any which ways, it's there. You guys seen it. Next one I want to talk about, I want to put it all in there. Okay, because this is what we're dealing with right now, right? The race wars. I made this back in July of 2019. All right. The race wars. As you could see, I made the one, well, whatever, here we go. Do a follow-up for the NRV that I did yesterday on NRV 27. We could call it part two, dos, okay? One of the things that was said, that I said was, this guy's going to be glitchy. We're going to, and the exact term that was given to me is that the way they're going to put it, the way the regular media is going to put it, the way they're going to try to explain it is they're not going to explain it as usual. They're going to say many anomalies. They're going to call it anomalies. Look for that word. There are going to be many celestial anomalies, quote unquote.
And we already know they started with that nonsense, right? With the whole ships in the sky using the same stupid footage they've been using. Just, it's going to accelerate, of course, because it's more stuff they're going to throw at the wall to try to escape and not be captured and dragged out for all to see. Here we go.
Okay, that they can't explain, celestial anomalies. Because of course they don't want to give themselves away, saying we've been messing with your heads, we've been mind fucking you over what you're seeing for millennia. They're going to call it many celestial anomalies. So that's part of partial disclosure. So they're going to come piecemeal, trying to explain things, half-truths, a bunch of half-truths. So just know this. And try to, try to find channels that are talking about what's really going on to educate, your friends and family, educate your loved ones, okay? To get the real truth out there. So be aware of that. Number two, when I said dragged out for all to see, that they're going to start being dragged out for all to see, like the arrests and convictions are going to really be put out there. Besides Epstein, judges, celebrities, politicians, all the bottom feeders, they're going to be dragged out for all to see. Now this hit me kind of hard last night and this morning. Because of course they don't want to give themselves away, saying we've been messing, take care of myself and my family. Clock tower, but it is because since I was a child, not everyone knew. All my friends knew not to do this to me, but of course, just know this and try to, try to find channels that are talking about what's really going on. Judges, celebrities, politicians, all the bottom feeders, they're going to be dragged out for all to see. Now this hit me kind of hard last night and this morning because I was taken to this scene that was so disturbing to me as a kid. Growing up, I could not, everyone knew, all my friends knew not to do this to me, but of course my ex-husband, the narcissist, had to, because that's what narcissists do. Everyone knew to find another way to never drive by or go to Jones Beach. There's a particular part of Jones Beach where there's this huge clock tower. Huge clock tower. And I don't have horrible anxiety attacks where I burst out into tears anymore. But I've driven by it on my own and I do start to shake and I do have to avert my eyes. Because since I was a child, I keep seeing from there, and every time I go by there, I keep seeing the same thing. I see somebody dressed in black, a black cloak, and somebody dressed in white with their hands tied, and they're a black person. The person in the white is a black person with a noose around their neck, and they're pushed off of the clock tower, and they're left hanging there. So I have been seeing this since I was a child. And then I kept hearing race war. This is since I was a little kid, 6 years old is the first time I saw it. And I kept hearing race war. So I was always horrified there was going to be a race war in America. Horrified. Whether that incident happens at that particular clock tower, but it is a big clock tower, it happens. I don't know if it's here or if it happens in another state. I keep hearing Texas, southern state. but I know it's a clock tower that I saw that particular incident happening. And it's to trigger a race war. Okay, and they're hot on that race war. They're still on the race war tip. Okay, that is what the squad is all about. That is what Ilhan Omar and all those women in the...
Now, where's Ilhan Omar from? Minnesota. What's going on right now in Minnesota? The whole riots, which are now spreading throughout the United States, and straight up at 11 o'clock this morning, there was a shooting at the mall. That's in biking distance away from me that I usually haven't been there in a minute, but it just recently opened and now there's a shooting at the mall. I know 2 people got shot so far at the mall by me in Aventura Mall. Okay. So in Miami, if you guys don't know, Florida. So yeah, there was a shooting this morning, 2 people so far shot. I just got sick saying that because I was actually going to go rollerblade around there right before I was going to check the weather. Then I saw a shooting. I was like, oh, damn. So yeah, they just opened. So there we go with the more of the fear. Okay.
The squad is all about. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, look it up. No.
And by the way, Ilhan Omar is MIA. She has not shown her face. No one knows where she is. She is not in Minnesota. And we all know they've been pictures of her and her new husband back then was, he was just somebody that's working for me, the white dude, and they were dressed up like Antifa, if you guys recall.
Spoon feeding, come on, do your due diligence, look stuff up. Don't be lazy, okay? So that's part of dragged out for all to see. All this is together. Let me put it all together for you guys. Okay, so it's about the race war that I just explained. And how it's connected to being dragged out for all to see. All these crooked people who've been doing things in the dark. Is that that's why this squad of these knuckleheads has been triggered. They triggered them to start. It's because they, again, want to pit the black against the white, and especially the women against the men. And if you notice, the squad has a Hispanic, has a Muslim, has an African American, and they're all the different skin tones of black women, of women of color. You notice that? So they want the whole spectrum of women of color covered, okay? That is why those particular women are there. And what is so disturbing about them, about that squad, is that they're playing the whole, black card, the whole women of color card, the whole color card, to call black people, not just black people, but you see they have the whole color spectrum covered, to call colored people, quote unquote, I hate that term, but people of color, like white people don't have from color. Well, some don't. Joke, just a joke. I am multiracial, okay? I can joke about that. So it's to ignite that racial war when certain politicians and celebrities, judges, whatever, are being dragged out. Okay? That is why they're being ignited. So black people, Hispanic people, people of color could jump to their defense to cause even more strife and separation, to cause diversions so it could save their asses. That's what it's all about. That's why that squad was ignited, for that to happen, for them to jump into defense of those guilty ones, of those ones who've been working on the dark side, when they're being dragged out and prosecuted and convicted. Now, the confirmation I received on it was, I went online, I went on my phone to see if my video uploaded, right? Waited a while, it was like midnight, went to check, see if my video uploaded. And on my suggested videos, this video popped up from a very small channel, small news channel in Ohio. I have no reason to look up some news channel in Ohio, okay? So it popped up, and it was this judge
former Judge Tracy Hunter. She was from juvenile court in Ohio, and she was convicted, and the video that was being shown was about her sentencing. Now, all she got was 6 months for some major, she was backdating stuff and sending kids to places where they shouldn't be, convicting kids and doing all that, keeping them in the juvenile system, kickbacks. Now, this is near and dear to my heart because I've mentioned in the past, I worked in a lockdown adolescent psych facility. That's my first degree, adolescent psych. And I did counseling. And I worked in one of the big facilities for the adolescents. There's the same, it's like a chain. The same facility has a huge facility in Texas, a facility in Philly, a small one in New York, in Jersey, out in Cali, Ohio, Chicago. Like, they have different facilities. And I know some kids went through that court. So they had an extremely long probe on her with 2,000 pages of evidence of her doing stuff like that. So she only got 6 months, mind you, and a small fine. I can't say the fine was that, but she had to pay for the whole court proceedings. All right? Now, when they finished sentencing this woman, she's in her nice little suit and everything, it's time for the deputies to take her away. Next thing you know, the courtroom was packed with black folks who didn't even know her. She only had a few family members there. Outside, packed with black folks. Never mind that this woman was taking money, forging court documents to convict children and to send them away. And also putting kids in foster care in certain homes. All this stuff, especially about the kids. And I was just like, are you effing kidding me? This one woman jumped out of it. You can't take her! And then the court broke out. And then literally, y'all got to see this video. Just look up.
I just have to say, same deep state Cabal Playbook. There were only 3 of her family members there, one being her mom. They never said anything. Zip, nada, not a word. It was all the paid crisis actors who went bananas inside and outside of the court as they dragged this horribly guilty judge away, okay, for what she was doing to children. So it's the same playbook that's going on right now.
Her whole body goes limp. This church there. Oh, she's a good woman. She gave our church to save your soul. No. They think it works that way, but...
Okay, that's enough of that. Now, okay, this has to do with the weather, okay, which this was just announced yesterday. So this is about to be thrown in. I'm telling you, they're throwing everything but the kitchen sink. See, well, the kitchen sink has water rights. I guess the kitchen sink's about to be thrown at us. Listen to this.
I think we'll start maybe with Pete, and you can tell us where we are, where we're going, and what kind of a season we're going to have with respect to hurricanes.
Yes, sir. Dr. James will do the forecast, and I'll follow up with him.
Sure. Go ahead.
So the big concern this year is the Atlantic Ocean. We're expecting an above average year. As you can see here, named storms, 13 to 19, hurricanes 6 to 10, and major hurricanes we're expecting 3 to 6. Like I said, this is above average. This does not necessarily mean they'll make landfall.
What makes you think that those numbers would be correct? Very much of a projection, right?
So the...
Okay, so I know the sound is really low on the White House conference, but yeah, Trump was having that briefing to say, yeah, we're ready for this storm surge. And as you know, this man is playing 5D chess, not even 4D. We all know it's 5D as light workers, 5D chess. It has many different layers when he's talking about we're ready for the storm surges. Okay. Number one has to do with this. On the most rudimentary level, I spoke about this back in August of 2019. Listen up.
And I had mentioned this before, that New York is being flooded out big time. New York is going to be flooded out big time, Northeast, and that's how they're trying to destroy over here, the deep state. Like, they're throwing so much. They're just throwing shit at it. Really, they know they lost. This is their final stand, and they're not going quietly. Plain and simple, being flooded or land grab. And then I was just taking this. Probably why I'm so exhausted. I was like taking all across the U.S. with the land grabs. They are controlling the weather, and I had mentioned this before, that New York is being flooded out big time. New York is going to be flooded out big time, Northeast, and that's how they're trying to destroy over here, the deep state. Like, they're throwing so much. They're just throwing shit at it. Really, they know they lost. This is their final stand, and they're not going quietly. Plain and simple, they're just not going quietly. That's what this 2-year battle is about, the cleanup battle. That's what it's all about, them not wanting to go quietly. So, yeah. So the East Coast, a lot of water, a lot of flooding. I see water coming up and flooding the islands, the Keys, and then coming up here, but not really flooding it out, which is why I was told to don't be on the side of the beach, move across from the beach, which is why, because I was on the side of the beach for 5 years, and then I was told move across the beach. Once my son graduated from he was in a school in the area, a charter school that was K through 8. So once he graduated from 8th grade, I went across, because then it would be a different district, literally. So even though it's the same zip code, so I waited till then and then moved across, and I was told, you'll be safe here. So I know I'm safe where I am. But it confused me. I was like, okay, if the waters are rising, they kept telling people, oh, showing all those maps of Florida being underwater and the Keys being underwater and all that kind of stuff. For how many years now they've been showing those maps? And I was told, don't believe it, don't believe it, don't believe it. That is just, it's a glamour. It's a glamour. It's an illusion. It's a lie. So they could land grab. And I also, when I moved down here, I've been down here for 10 years now.
Hence, the Obamas buying, what, a $15 million mansion on the East Coast at Martha's Vineyard? Is that it? No, it's not Martha's Vineyard. I'm sorry. It's off of Boston. What is it called again? I forgot what it's called, that island where all the rich people go. All right.
There weren't that many tall buildings on the beach side where I am. Now it's wall to wall. My mother came here last year, and she was just like, didn't you live on the beach? And this is the same place, right? I was like, yeah, it's behind that wall of buildings right there. And the new mayor of the town came in, of where I...
Okay, so that's that. That covers the whole weather game that's going to happen, especially here on the East Coast. And Trump just talked about it. That's one level. And the other level has to do with the storm surge, where like I said, the house is on fire, literally. And I just said that the other day, right? I mean, last week, before all this started blowing up. They're going to start setting fires everywhere. Okay. And again, the way out of this fire is to stay connected to your oversoul and allow your oversoul, who has the high view, to guide you out of the fire and remain the conscious observer. Okay, guys? So, yep, that's it. I wanted to cover all that with everyone. Hope that was helpful. It should be, so you could at least know that, we got this. It is done. And it's about writing out the storm. All right, QV out. Bye.